तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining our call. So we will continue our readings from the Bhagavad-gita, chapter number 8. And we will start something new that we have started recently, is that we will all go through the verses, reciting one verse, everybody. Okay, just 1 second. I need to take care of this text. Okay, this is not good news for us. I will have to stop the class sharp at 7. Okay. Let's get going then on this one. So, am I sharing my screen? Okay, before we start sharing my screen, I need to have the order laid down, right? So, order of appearance on this call. Who was the first to come? Adi. Who was the Adi Vidyarthi, the first student?
I think Kiran Khosla
Kiran Goyal.
Mataji.
Kiran Khosla? Kiran Goyal.
Oh, yeah, Goyal.
Goyal Mataji. And then it was you, right?
Yeah.
Komal Radhe. And then Sutapa came, right? I think. And then Varshana. And then Jyoti Mataji came.
Yeah.
And who else? I heard some beeps here. Am I missing somebody?
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Oh, Yugal. Yugal Handa, right?
Yugal.
Yugal Mataji. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Yugal Mataji, are you in a position to read when your chance comes?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, Mataji, sorry. Yeah.
No problem. All right. And then we have Aruni Mataji. Okay. So let us get started here. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we will take the verses, right? So how about each one read one verse, okay? And we are reading from chapter number 8, translations. Okay, here I'm sharing the screen. Are you able to read it, Sutapa? Is it big enough?
Yes, Mataji.
High enough? Tall enough? Okay. All right. So who's the first to read? Kiran. Unmute yourself, Grandmother-ji, and give us the first verse. And for some reason, she's not able to unmute herself. So we'll skip and we will go to Sukumal Radhe Mataji in the interest of time.
Arjuna inquired, O my Lord, O Supreme Person, what is Brahman? What is the Self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me.
Mataji, scroll up.
Just scrolling up. Hold on. Yeah.
Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he live in the body, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death?
Who's next? Do you remember?
I think it was Varshana Mataji, but she said she's
She
coming
said she's
in
coming
5
back.
minutes. Yeah,
Okay. And then I think I heard a couple of more beeps there.
truth.
Hold on for a second. We have 9 of us now. So Arni was the last to join up. Madhav
Jyoti
Sanghini.
Mataji, I think.
Okay, Madhuri, I'll read. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible, transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called adhiyajña, the self. Action pertaining to the development of the material bodies of the living entities is called karma or fruitive activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. O best of embodied being, the physical nature which is constantly changing is called adhibhūta, the material manifestation, the universal form of the Lord which includes all the demigods like those of sun and moon is called adhidaiva, and the Supreme Lord represented as the Supersoul in the heart of embodied being is called adhiyajña, the Lord of sacrifice. Hare Krishna ji.
Who's next?
I joined last. Am I next?
Aruni and then Madhav Sanghini.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail.
Madhav.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Kṛṣṇa, and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Should I wait for Kiran Mataji?
Kiran. Okay, she's not coming. Sometimes she can't speak. Yeah, but she's listening. Yeah.
He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me.
Shraddha.
Yes, Mataji. One should meditate upon the Supreme Person as the one who knows everything, as he who is the oldest, who is the controller, who is the smaller than the smallest, who is the maintainer of everything, who is beyond all material conception, who is inconceivable, and who is always a person. He is luminous like the sun, and he is transcendental beyond this material nature.
Hare Krishna. One who at the time of death fixes his life here between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with the undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Happened here.
Hi, I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise.
Mataji,
I
screen
know
is
it's
not
hard
coming.
to hear, but it's
Hold on for 1
important.
second. Yeah.
The shooter who murdered my son.
Something popped up here. Hold on for 1 second. I stopped sharing for that reason. Okay, I need to go back again. Somebody got shot.
Shall I read from the book?
No. You read from here. Chapter 8. Sorry, I got distracted. Who was the last student? Yeah.
11 we have to read.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Mataji. Yeah.
Person who are learned in Vedas, who utter Omkara, and who are great sages in the renounced order, enter into Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices celibacy. I shall now briefly explain to you the process by which one may attain salvation. Hare Krishna ji.
Okay, I was just editing the list that we have. So after Madhav Sangini, anybody else joined the call?
Subodhini.
Subodhini joined. Okay. So Subodhini will read after Madhav Sangini. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to also post this here on the chat so that you can all look at the chat also here, right? I think I saw something.
Cannot read, sorry.
No
Oh,
problem.
she cannot read. Yeah.
She cannot read? Okay, no problem. Here, so I posted the list of the names here, and then we'll continue on. Okay, come on.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga.
After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets.
For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service.
After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all the places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together from the duration of Brahma's one day. As such is also, Mataji scroll kar dijiye. And such also is the duration of his night. Hare Krishna ji.
Who is next?
Aruni Mataji.
Sorry. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged again into the unmanifest. They are merged into the unmanifest again.
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated.
Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is.
That which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, and that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading, and everything is situated within him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. O best of Bhartas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Hare Krishna.
Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, and the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back.
According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns.
Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion.
A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so what words did you hear?
Adhiyajña. Is that correct?
I meant in English.
Oh.
Because we're reading English, right? We're hearing English. What words did you hear being mentioned with stuck your?
Oh, when the sun is traveling to the north and you pass away during those 6 months, during the waning, is it the waxing or the waning?
Waxing. It's the waxing.
Yeah, a very, very interesting, Mataji. Yes. And also how when you fix your mind on the space between your eyebrows and then you can pass out that way. The yogis are skilled in doing that. But then if you pass away when the sun is traveling to the south during the 6 months of the waning moon, is it? Then you reach the moon planet, but you have to come back to Earth again.
Yeah. So so the moon is a heavenly planet. So according to our scientific calculations, they say that moon is a satellite and things like that. But according to Vedic literature, moon is a planet. Moon planet is a heavenly planet.
The sun and the moon, right?
There are many heavenly planets, like where Indra lives and all that. Those are the heavenly planets as well. Madhav Sangini. Did you raise your hand, Madhav Sangini?
Sorry, yes. How do we know where is the sun traveling now, in north or south?
You can look at that. There is Vedic calendars. You can look at those calendars and you can know where
But
they are.
Uttarayana is usually from January or the middle of January or February until July. And then the second half of the year is when the sun is traveling south.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then also when you there's a time of day. So if you pass away before 8:30 a.m. and after midnight, something like that, then also it's the I don't know what the term is, like Uttarayana, it's like that as well. And then if you pass away after 8:30 a.m. and all that, you go to the Pitruloka. And if you pass away before that period, before 8:30 a.m. and between, I think, midnight or something, I'm not sure, then you go to Swargaloka.
Did any one of you hear anything after that verse?
But who does
They know
who's in devotional service, he will go to him, go back to him.
No, they are not bewildered, even though
Where
they
does
know
it say
this,
that you go
because
back?
they are devoted.
No, he says that if you fix your final thought on my name and form, then you will attain Kṛṣṇa. That if you fix
where does he say that?
In the beginning, so towards the beginning, I think, when we read. I don't remember the text number, but towards the beginning. And he also says that even those who perform all the austerities and all that will reach the ultimate. But Also, those who are engaged in devotional service are not bereft of the fruits of the Vedas.
They're not bereft of the fruit of the Vedas, but that verse is not telling where they will go, right? They're
No.
devotees, those who are engaged in devotional service.
But he
think
says
it
that
was
if you fix your name, your thought on his form, then you will attain Kṛṣṇa. Instead of all the heavenly planets, you will attain Kṛṣṇa.
Kṛṣṇa, right. Right. So then after these two verses where they talk about the Uttarayan and Dakshinayan, I think somebody was trying to say something more. And I can't
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Madhav Samini.
It also said that to remember him with two-handed forms. He's telling Arjuna how to think of him in a two-handed form, and always while working, think of him. And not to...
Does it say to think of him in his two-handed forms?
I thought I read that on 8:7. I'm not too sure now.
In the 7th verse?
Yeah.
He does say that think of me in the form of Krishna, but
That you always think of me as a Kṛṣṇa.
Yes.
That's what he said.
Carry out your prescribed duties, then you will attain me in no ways. But what struck me most was that whatever the state one is being, when he quits his body, he will reach to God. I mean, say he will attain the Kṛṣṇa.
Oh, no. He's not saying...
That struck me actually this time.
That verse is not saying that whatever state you remember, you will reach Krishna. It is saying whatever state you remember, you will be that. So if you're thinking about something not Krishna, then you will, if you're thinking about Brahma, then you will go to Brahma's planet, right? Yanti deva, vatari devan, pitrin yanti prativata, bhutani yanti bhūteja, yanti majyajinovidam, right?
Yeah, and in it's at 7, he says that whatever your prescribed duty is, do that. But with your mind, when your mind and intelligence is always fixed on me, then you will attain Kṛṣṇa.
Right.
But he doesn't say anything about two forms. I don't know if it's somewhere else.
It didn't say the two forms, but I think she was interpreting, she was extrapolating that and saying Krishna is two-handed, right?
Yeah, sorry.
I think that's what she meant, yeah. So back again to the Uttarayan, Dakshinayan. Close to that, did you find any other verse that was interesting? You can open your books.
No, like even if we know that there is this path of going in the light and then going in the darkness, if you're a devotee, you're never bewildered because you're fixed in devotion of him. So it doesn't matter when and where you go.
Very good. Yeah. So that is the key point that you should take from Krishna's narration. That he's saying this is there. This is for those who have got whose devotional service is not pure, right? And this was a verse which I think Vaishana Mataji was reading, and my keyboard is stuck. I'm trying to take you to
That was the last one.
no, the last one is what you were saying, that they don't, it was not the last, but close to the last. But what I was trying to bring up here was, so that's text number 22. Let me start sharing here, then we'll go to your verse. So text number 22 here is saying, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he's present in his abode, he's all pervading and everything is situated within him, right? So what is the meaning of unalloyed devotion?
Pure.
What is pure devotion?
Where you have no expectation in return.
Where you're doing devotional service just for the sake of devotional service, right?
Yes.
So now if you sit down and meditate and you're thinking about Kṛṣṇa, right? And at the same time, you're also checking your watch to see, or the calendar or the panchang to see whether the sun is in the Uttarayan or not, or whether it's a waxing moon or waning moon, or whether it's morning or day and all that. And okay, let me pass this body now, right? Then it is not pure devotional service. In pure devotional service, you will live for Kṛṣṇa, you'll die for Kṛṣṇa. You don't care what time of the day you're going to leave, like that, right? But this is the key word from here that we don't bother about it. Pure devotional service is a very high level of achievement. We all have got, Mishrit Bhakti. Our bhakti is contaminated with some material desires as well, which are not connected to Krishna. And which is okay. It's not that don't go away with that idea that you're good for nothing. We are doing devotional service. We are on the right path. So we will achieve perfection, definitely, because we are on the right path, right? But we haven't achieved that yet, at least I can speak that for myself. And so a pure devotee won't even care whether he's in a hellish planet or whether he's in the heavenly planet. He can be in any planet. But all that he wants is mana janmane janmane bhakti ahetuki tvai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, na janam, na dhanam, na sundarim. I don't want good birth. I don't want a lot of money. I don't want sundari. All that I want is that whenever I am born, I should somehow be able to do devotional service to you. So that is there. And of course, this is amazing and a very nice chapter. Chapter 8 is very nice. And what Varshanamati was referring was, according to Vedic opinion, although the devotees know of these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion so that you never be bewildered or confused. Should I do this? Should I do that? And then when we are saying that you engage yourself in devotional service, the interesting thing over here is that you will get all without having to ask for it. So a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. You will get all that just by doing devotional service, because these are byproducts. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. And that is what the difference is, that at the end, he's going to go there. A classic example of that was Dhruv Maharaj, right? He started from the wrong foot. He wanted to have a kingdom better than his great-grandfather Brahma. But when he sees Krishna, he doesn't want anything. But Krishna still gives him, right? Because he was a devotee. Krishna still gives him something. He enjoys the 35,000 years on this planet, enjoys or whatever. But he stays here. And then finally he reaches that supreme abode, and he's in the Sri Sagar area in the Dhruv planet with God. Like that. So we have to remember that we will get that all as a result of that, right? But we're going to go back here to the beginning of the chapter and just remember that there were 7 questions that Arjun asked, right? So he said, what is Brahman? What is self? 2. What are fruitive activities? 3. What is this material manifestation? 4. What are the demigods? 5. Who is the Lord of sacrifice? 6. And how does he live in the body? Oh, Madhusudana, I must have calculated it wrong. And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? So these are the questions that he has asked. And then last week we saw that Supreme Personality of Godhead Kṛṣṇa has replied, and he said that what is the Brahman and the eternal natures adhyatma or self. And we also talked about what is karma, right? Now, karma is a very term karma can be used in many different ways. For example, when you do something, that is karma. Or sometimes when you get a reaction to what you did, that is also karma. Like people say, well, this is all your karma. It's coming back at you, like that, right? Or these are karmic reactions. So people use that. Then also karma can be used as, this is pure karma. This is akarma. This is vikarma, right? In that sense also, karma can be used. So he has explained that, when you're doing whatever you're doing which leads you to get material bodies, that is karma, right? So both vikarma and sakarma are going to lead to bodies. When you're in akarma, when you're doing something not for your own good, then there are chances that you won't get another body there. Okay? Now, in today's verse, he's going to continue to answer the questions that are there. So let me go to text number 4 here.
Mataji, can I just ask a question quickly? This text 13 in the purport.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Oh my God. So,
Dandavat pranams, all good. Is to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranams, continue, Mataji.
Yeah, so in text 13 in the purport, he says that the impersonal sound of Krishna is Om. The sound Hare Krishna contains Om. So if one quits his body at the end of life, chanting Hare Krishna, etc., he certainly reaches one of the spiritual planets according to his mode of practice. The devotees of Krishna enter the Krishna planet, Goloka, Vrindavana. And for the personalist, there are also innumerable other planets known as Vaikuntha planets. So what is the difference? I mean, what does he mean by personalists and devotees of Krishna? Aren't personalists devotees of Krishna if they're chanting Hare Krishna?
Yeah. So basically, he's distinct. So once we have first level of distinction is people go to Krishna can go to Krishna as an impersonalist also, where they are thinking Krishna is God and all that, but he doesn't have a form. He's just all light, right? So they go to Brahma Jyoti. Those are the impersonalists, right? Now the second part is personalists who think or who believe that Krishna has got a personality, he's got a body. Now, depending on what you think is his body, like sometimes people think Vishnu is all, right? The four-handed form. So when you are thinking of Krishna in the four-handed form, you will go to that planet where Krishna lives in the four-handed form. When you're thinking of Krishna in the two-handed form, you'll go to that planet where Krishna is living with his two-handed forms. All of them are Vaikuntha planets because Vaikuntha means where there is no distress, right? Vai and Kuntha. Vai means without and Kuntha is miseries and distress, right? So any planet which doesn't have those is called a Vaikuntha. But then, depending on how you worship, now among the Vishnu also, there are so many forms of Vishnu, depending on permutations and combination on which hand he's holding the lotus, where is his, chakra, all that kind of stuff, right? So there are many Vaikuntha planets. So person, if you're worshiping four-handed form of Krishna, you'll go there. And this verse also says, whatever is your state of being at the time of that. So if you're a devotee of Vishnu, you will think about Vishnu at the time of death, and you'll go to these planets. Among all these planets that we have, Vaikuntha planets that we have, there's one planet which is the highest and the supermost planet, and that is Golok Vrindavan, right? That is where Krishna lives in his two-handed form, and where he'll have all his pastimes. So we try to go to that planet. So from the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya, which Prabhupada is from, so that Sampradaya, the main aim for them is to go back to Golok Vrindavan. One may just ask that, oh, what happens if I land in the Vaikuntha planet, which is not a Golok planet? Can I go further, proceed from there to Krishna? Yes. And why will you proceed from there to Krishna? Is because when a soul is created by Krishna, they are wired, they have a certain swarup. And so they will be either belonging to the Vaikuntha planets, non-Goloka, or they'll be one of those who are from Goloka. And so if you are really belong to Goloka and you end up in Vaikuntha planet for whatever reason, then you will somehow or the other, by pursuing devotional service to Krishna, remembering Krishna, or not feeling good in those Vaikuntha planets, you will then again go further up and you'll go to Golok Vrindavan. What is that book? I'm forgetting. There is Lagu Bhagavatam. Can somebody help me? Bhagavatamrita. The
Brihad Bhagavatam.
Brihad Bhagavatam. Yeah, written by Sanatana Goswami. So it talks about Gopakumar, who is in the search of the truth, and he goes from, first within this Bhulok itself, he starts going to who's the best devotee, and that he traverses, and doesn't feel good. He goes to Jagannath Puri, likes good, but then he wants to come back to Vrindavan here in Bhama Vrindavan, like in this world. And then he starts climbing up, and then he goes to the heavenly planet, doesn't like it. Then he goes up to the Vaikuntha, stays there, still he doesn't like it. And ultimately he goes to Golok Vrindavan, right? So the soul can have its own journey like that. And actually people say that the Paradise Lost story is also kind of based on Lagu Bhagavatam, Brihad Bhagavatam.
So the Vaikuntha planets, if you go to the Vaikuntha planets, then also you will not come back. Like
yes.
So why is if Vaikuntha planets are actually they have forms of Vishnu, who is Kṛṣṇa, why is it considered lower than Goloka? I mean,
because when you are in Golok Vrindavan, you'll have better relationship with Krishna, and you'll be engaging in his pastimes there. In the Vaikuntha planets, people are more Vishnu. See, Krishna, whenever you see the pastimes of Krishna, Krishna's pastimes are very playful, right? He's having fun and all that. When we worship Vishnu, we worship him with awe and reverence. In the temple also, in our temple, although you see the deities of Radha and Krishna, right? So they are Krishna over there, but the mood in which he is worshipped is like a Vishnu, like he is Vishnu. And so he has to eat food at a certain point in time. He has to sleep at a certain point in time. There's a rigor around it and rules and regulations around it. So that's what you would do. So people will just, they are awe and reverence, and they know he is huge. And that's the mentality of the soul, or the personality of the soul, that the soul likes to see God in that way. The soul says the God is all powerful and all almighty. And I want to go to that God. Okay, you want to see God in that mood? Then I will manifest myself in that mood and I'll show that to you, right? So even over here, right? Some people, even among the different forms of Vishnu or different incarnations of Krishna. Some like to see Krishna as a Kurma avatar. Some like to, see him in some other avatar. Some really like his Agriva avatar. Some people say, no, I want the two-handed form. Some people like Kalki. So depending on the personality of the soul and what the soul likes and the form in which the soul likes to worship, Krishna obligates the devotee and manifests himself in that form for the happiness of the devotee. In Bhagavatam, it's of canto number 5. If you read, different kinds of planetary systems are defined, and they'll tell you in which planet, in which form do they worship, and what are the prayers that they do. So canto 5 has got a very nice description of, even in this material world, how they do it differently. And then, of course, in the Vaikuntha planets, it's done differently. So it depends on the swarup of the jiva and the kind. And that's why we say that ultimately we have to understand and get the sambandha gyan. Sambandh means relationship, and gyan is to understand and get the knowledge of what my relationship with God is, right? So when we don't know, as long as we don't know our relationship with the Lord, and as long as it is not revealed to us, we will all worship him as we are his servants in the dasya bhav. Okay? Later on, as we continue and pursue our devotional service, the form is also actually revealed to us. And although the form is revealed to us, and while we are in this material world, we will not start behaving like that. No matter, what my true relationship with Krishna is. I live wherever I am, in whichever way, shape, and form I was born, and whichever species, I will continue to do that. And then it's only after death, when I go back to Golok Vrindavan, will I get my spiritual body revealed, and then I will start behaving in that particular mode, with that particular thing. For example, if I am a peacock in the Vaikuntha planets, in Golok Vrindavan, and there's no difference between a peacock and a crow or a tortoise in Vaikuntha planets. But here it is, right? As long as I'm in a human being body, and even if my swarup has been revealed to me that you are actually a peacock over there, I will still continue to behave like a human being here, and I'm not behaving like a peacock. And that is why Prabhupada normally says very strongly against what he calls as the sahajiyas, right? So where your so-called spiritual master will come and tell you, or touch your forehead and tell you, like, here you are a peacock. And then you start walking like this. I'm a peacock. That doesn't happen. You will behave like a peacock in Golok Vrindavan. Here you will behave like a human being. Like that, right? So it's a long process. It's a nice, it's an interesting reading. I would encourage you to read both the Bhagavad-gita. It's very interesting. And also Nectar of Devotion, that talks about, in the later half of the Nectar of Devotion book, all this is mentioned. That the relationship, how you move from Vaidhi Bhakti to Raganuga Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is like somebody has given me the rules and regulations, I have to do it, to Raganuga Bhakti, which is spontaneous. And then once you go into spontaneous and you progress in spontaneous, then all these things are revealed to you, and not just like that. And after it is revealed, we just keep silent. We don't start, showing off on that platform. Like that.
And so what if you're attracted? So if you want to, even if you go to any of the Vaikuntha planets, but you're not in Goloka, then you've already attained the highest, right? So like,
Yes.
if you're attracted to another form of Krishna, Ram is also avatar of Vishnu, or is it Krishna? I'm confused about that. But like, it's not that I'm not attracted to Krishna, I am, but I feel a very strong connection to Lord Rama. So is that a different planet from Goloka Vrindavana?
Yeah, actually, I'll find out a chart. There's a very nice chart that tells you where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, where Ramchandra is, where Krishna is, and all that. Let me find that chart, and I'll share that with you on the chat, on our WhatsApp chat. You can have a look at, where all these things land. But you did say that it is the highest. And like I was also saying the other day, that there are various relationships that you can have with the Lord, right? Like, you can be a servant, you can be a friend, you can be a parent of the Lord, you can be a lover, or you could be in shant relationship, neutrality, right? Awe and wonder, like that. So whichever your swarup is, whichever your nature is, or your relationship with God is, Can somebody mute themselves? So whichever is your relationship with the Lord, you will think that that is the best. And you don't mind if others have a different relationship. For example, sometimes it happens, like, in college also, a boy and a girl are friends. They are just friends. The girl thinks the boy is my friend, just a friend, doesn't want to marry him. And somebody else might want to marry that person. So there are two different relationships two women have with the same man. And each one is happy. The one who thinks of his friend doesn't want to marry him. And she's okay if he goes and marries somebody else, because that contention is not there, right? So to the first girl who thought that boy is my friend, that was the highest that she had, and she's happy with it. So the same thing happens with the soul also. Whatever is our nature, how we are wired, when we reach that stage, we are happy. It's not that people in the Vaikuntha planets are looking up at Goloka and saying, we are not there, we should have been there. This is what they wanted, they are happy, right? In life also it happens, right? We have partners, and if we like them, then we don't look at others like that. So same thing happens here also. Similarly, one who's a friend doesn't want to be a parent. One who's a parent doesn't want to be a lover. So higher the highest, but in general, it is said that that's the highest relationship, Madhurya Ras, and it includes all the lower rases. A higher rasa or a higher relationship can include lower relationships, but a lower relationship cannot include a higher relationship. So that we have to understand, that if you're in a relationship as a parent of Kṛṣṇa, then you cannot be a lover of Kṛṣṇa also at the same time, right? It's not allowed, even here in this material world, like that. So,
but in Dasya Rasmatani, it is said that we should always be in Dasya Ras.
That's what I said, yeah.
Because
as long as you don't know, yeah, as long as as long as it is not revealed to you, then we should be at the lowest, right? Stay as the Dasya, and it will be revealed at the right time what your Sarup is, what your relationship is, right? And like I was saying, that the higher relationships always include the lower relationship. For example, as a parent, are we not Dasyas of our children? Don't we serve our children?
Yes.
We do serve them, right? So higher relationship will always have the lower relationship. So there's no harm in starting as a Dasya, so that even if you found that I am in Madhurya Rasa, the Das will still be there, right? Aren't all the gopis Dasis of Kṛṣṇa? Don't they serve him as Dasis, right? Because the Das bhav comes out, right? Do they not scold him? Yes, they scold him, because then that Sakhya Ras comes out, right? Like that. Do they become jealous when he goes off with somebody else? Yes, and that's when the Madhurya Ras is coming out, right? So the rasas, all these rasas will be there, lower will be there inside the higher one.
But Mataji, when we sit and pray to the Lord, and that time, you see, you feel as if you are talking to your friend, that, see, this is happening, and you know it. I don't need to tell you. You know it very well. So do what you like to do. But I don't know. I don't even know what to ask from him, because he knows better. What can I ask from him? The only thing is I can ask is, give me your bhakti, so that I don't get deviated in my life. So that is the only one thing I can pray for as a Dasi. Rest is on him. If I need any material thing also, where will I go? I have to go to my father and ask him. And that time you feel that you are my friend, you are my father, and this is what is, you know it very well. So I have come to you. So what is the, I'm a little confused, Mother. What should be
where is your
the feeling in your mind?
I'm confused about the question.
Yeah, I don't know where the question was.
So what I could...
The question is, Mother, I feel I'm the... Yes.
You feel?
Yes, Aruni Mataji, you were saying something.
No. I just said I was also waiting for your question. I didn't know what the question was.
Let's
Okay.
repeat it, yeah.
So my question is that I always think, as the scriptures say, that you should be in Dasya Ras. But then I keep changing my intention. sometimes in Dasya and sometimes in Sakya. And sometimes as a parent, see, you know it very well. Where will I go? I'm your child. You are my father.
Yeah. So, a servant always
I'm
thinks
confused.
No. The servant always thinks of the master as a father. In some ways, the master is the father, right? Like the manager in the office is sort of like my father. She controls, right? So we are in the servitor mode. Again, when you mentioned that you are praying to Krishna and you're saying like, give me this, and then ultimately you do whatever you think. That is dasya, right? That is dasya, you are surrendered.
Yes.
What is das to surrendered, right? You're asking.
So that will be dasya.
Yes. I mean, so many times our maid servants would come to our home and then they would cry their hearts out, right? Dasya. They're not thinking of a friend. They're not thinking of us as a friend if they're telling that, I'm going through this and I'm going through that. The mood is different. See, for a friend, we will just go and say this, and this, not necessarily looking for a guidance or that the friend can solve my problem. But when you go to Krishna and you're saying, Krishna, I'm having this problem, you are looking for something from him, right? You are putting him in that position and you are asking, begging for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're really thinking Krishna is your friend, then can you really do everything with Krishna that you do as a friend? Maybe not.
No.
Right?
No, but I just now this thought came to me, looking at the book, that Arjuna is sitting behind and both the hands are folded towards him, and he is asking him that, my dear Lord, that whatever he's asking at that moment, I don't know. But you see, in the beginning, they were friends. He said in Bhagavad-gita, I sat with you, I laid down with you, and you see, I gave you
in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning, here's a little difference, right?
Yeah.
It was not that in the beginning Arjun had a friendly relationship with God. He had a friendly relationship with somebody who he thought was a human being.
Yes.
He had a friendly relationship. So we cannot say that's the friendly relationship. But when he sees the universal form of the Lord, adhibhūta, then he he's God. And then what comes out? The servitude comes out. Right? He quickly goes down. That's the picture that you're seeing, right? He goes down on his knees and then he's saying, you are God, right? So that's there, right?
Right.
One thing I'm confused about though, I mean, Lord Rama was a full incarnation of Krishna as well, right? So why would his going to his planet be considered lower than Goloka Vrindavana?
Because Krishna has got certain qualities which are more than
64 or something.
Yeah, he has 64.
He has 64 qualities.
Yeah, and then Ram has
which
60.
nobody has that many.
Sorry, Ram has how many?
I think 60 or 62.
Oh, yeah, little bit
Nectar of
less.
devotion will list that, yeah, just a little less, right?
Little less.
So he was not a complete incarnation then.
See, incarnation there are complete and there are partial incarnations. These are expansions of Krishna. They are there, and it's just that how much do they manifest themselves? How and why does Krishna manifest? Because of the will of and desire of the devotee, right? For example, see, I am full whole, and you are seeing at least half of my body. You are seeing. Why can't you see other part of the body? I have not manifested it to you, right? Now, if I were God and you really wanted to see how my feet are, then I will manifest the feet also to you. Right? You are not asking for it. I'm not manifesting it like that, right? I can manifest or unmanifest or manifest as much as I want. Whatever you will see behind the curtain will be what you wanted to see, right? So he manifests himself in the form that he likes. Some people have got so much of love for Ram, and it is not wrong. It just they like it that way. So there's
I guess it's also the needs of the particular yoga, because
not necessarily because
yoga.
No, not necessarily. For in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you hear the pastime that Murari Gupta was given the mantra Hare Krishna Mahamantra by his spiritual master. And then he goes back and he says that, somehow I still like Ram much better. And I think it was Murari Gupta. And so then, he was given another mantra. So whatever is your natural proclivity, it will come out. And he was being very honest with his spiritual master. He told him, and then it was rectified. So it's not that his spiritual master said, no, Kṛṣṇa is the best, and I've given you this, and this is what you should do. It goes according to your nature, what you like and what you don't like. And that's why there is variety, right? Some people like ice cream, some people don't.
Mataji, in chapter 2, also in the 7th shloka, he says, Karpanya dosho. At that time, he bows down and he asks, I'm confused and please tell me what to do. So there also, I find the surrender. So that time...
To a teacher. The surrender was to a teacher. So the friendship is slowly going away. He has now discovered that he's very, very confused and is looking up to his friend to say, can you help me? Right? Still, he is not thinking of him as a supreme personality of Godhead when he is doing that surrender. Right?
Okay.
That surrender comes and he shows him the universal form. Right?
And then he begs him to come back to his two-handed form.
Exactly. I was saying you say that because he doesn't like that Virat Roop. There are people who like the Virat Roop. They worship that Virat Roop. Yes. And there is the other forms of the Virat Roop also, Shishumar. And so there are people who worship that. And actually, we might have to continue this verse 8.4 next week.
I know, I thought about it.
Yeah, because it is Virat, the Virat Roop is what is mentioned here in this verse as adhibhūta. Adhibhūta. Adhibhūta sharo bhava. Sharo means it is not akshar, it gets demolished. It will get demolished. So no, nice questions. There's no harm in asking those questions. I have a hard stop at 7 today. So Sutapa can go to sleep at the proper time or go and have a dinner at the proper time. But yeah, there are a few more minutes. Just please bring up anything that you want.
I just have what might be an obvious question. So is Kṛṣna Loka, and they say Kṛṣna Loka is the same as Vrindavana?
Yes, Kṛṣna Loka, Golok, Vrindavan, Kṛṣna Loka, Goloka, Vrindavan, they're all the same thing.
So highest is Golok Vrindavan.
And that is the highest in the Vaikuntha planets, which are all above all the other planets from which you do not come back. Is that right?
Yeah.
No. Vaikuntha planets are the planets from where you don't come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I said. So all the Vaikuntha planets, if you reach there, you don't come back. And then within the hierarchy of the Vaikuntha planets, the Goloka Vrindavana is the highest.
Yeah.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. So Kṛṣṇa is that full Purna.
That verse is slightly, is trying to say a slightly different thing. And this completeness, and it says that in that Ishopanishad invocation, it's saying, right, whatever comes out from the complete, that God is complete, and whatever comes out from God is also complete. So we get confused as to how can you subtract something from the complete and what comes out is also complete. Was it not part of the whole thing? How is it complete? So this completeness has to be understood in a way of self-sufficiency, right? So when Vishnu, we talked about that last time, when Vishnu exhales, so all these universes come out, right? And inside this universe are these 14 planetary systems. These universes are material universes. So what it means is that, once something comes out of Vishnu, which is like a universe, that one universe is sufficient and completed in itself, in the sense that I don't have to go to another universe to fulfill my needs. My needs are fulfilled here in this whole thing, right? For example, nowadays when you go to Amazon and you buy something, right? Something you get from China, something you get from America, something you get from India, something comes from UK, like that, Mexico, like that. So living here in America, my needs are not completely fulfilled. I have to go to other places to get them fulfilled, right? So America by itself is not complete. But what they're saying is, when it comes to the universe, the kind of people who are organized and scheduled to live in that particular universe, those people will have got everything to satisfy their needs. Right? That's why they also say that for every disease that you get, there is a cure for that in the nature. We just have not found it. For everything, right? Sometimes that's why you will see even the dogs, sometimes go and start eating grass. How dog it has to eat that grass? Dog has got indigestion, it knows that particular grass to eat. So medicine, even for them, is available. Right? So that is the completeness that we are talking about.
Mataji, you said so within the 14 planetary system, it exists within each universe.
Well, in this universe, there are 14 planetary systems. I do not know about other universes. It could be more, layers could be more, right?
More.
Some universes could be smaller. And how you judge the complexity of a universe is that by the number of heads Brahma has. Like our Brahma has got 4 heads. So that means he has got enough intelligence to manage a universe of this complexity, that what we have, right? There are Brahmas who have got millions of heads, which means there are universes which are super, super, super complicated than ours, right?
So each one has a Vaikuntha, has got, so the Vaikuntha are above all this.
Yes. So we see who is the Vishnu from whose pores all these universes come out. What's the name of that universe?
Garbha.
Somebody has to tell.
Garbha.
Listen to did anybody hear the question?
From whom the pores come out, you said.
From whose?
From whom the pores come out.
Which pores?
The universes. That's where the universes come out.
From the pores, the universes.
From the forces, universes will come out.
From whose pores the universes come out? And
Okay,
Kiran Goyal has written the right answer on Bhakti Sanamate WhatsApp group. It's Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai.
So the Garbhodaksh.
Within every universe, Garbhodakshai.
Oh, right.
Within every universe, right?
Yeah.
So we are talking about the 14 planetary systems. In every universe, there will be, in our universe, there are 14 planetary systems. Other universe also, there could be more, less complicated, and things like that. Okay?
Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa Sachidananda Vigraha.
On that happy note of Ishvara Parama Kṛṣṇa Sachidananda Vigraha.
Anādiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karana.
Absolutely. So let's now.
Oh, Mataji, I was so late today. I don't know. I was chanting and sitting here only.
Evatra patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo